me introduce myself. I am Param Shendekar, the co-founder of Synergy Community. I am in my third year of college at KJ Soma College of Engineering under the Information Technology branch. And today's session will be also taken by Arnav Mankad. He's the tech head of Synergy Community, currently studying in the last year of Comms Department of KJ Soma College of Engineering. And also we have Umang Thadani, who is a tech team member and also from our college, that is KJ Soma. So let's move forward without any further ado. Let's talk about the things that we are going to discuss in this 2 day session. Okay. So I'll just clear out the course structure for you all. Then we'll be talking about what data structures are, since many of you have talked to simplify data structures, what it is, and give you the importance of why data structure is heavily focused upon. So we'll be talking about that. Then we'll be talking about the prerequisites behind studying the data structures and how to go about them. Then moving on forward, we'll be covering the abstract data type and why, what exactly is it. Then we'll be coming towards the main data structures, starting with the linear data structures at first. So in linear data structures, we'll be covering arrays, vectors, linked list, stacks, and queues. After that, this will compose of the day one. Queues will be taken on day two. Other all things will be composed of day one. And on day two, that is tomorrow, the same time, 7 p.m., we'll be starting with queues, maps, trees, and graphs. And we'll be explaining the core concepts behind it and how to approach them from your practical exam point of view or in a competitive programming point of view. Major of that was covered in the last session as well, where we talked about competitive programming and hackathons. And then afterwards, we'll be talking about the final details of the resources that we are going to provide you. We have compiled some of the best resources all over the internet, and we have also provided you codes with about to go about it, and I'll be talking to you about that. So yeah, let me get started with the brief introduction to what data structure is. I'll not be going about an Oxford dictionary definition of data structures, because I'm sure since you are in this lecture, you might know what data structure is. But just hold on 1 second. Yeah. Yeah. So if since you guys know what data structure is it, I'm pretty sure that I need not define it for you, but let me give you some insight about why data structure is given so much importance. Like even if you are in your second year of college, you might understand that your teachers, your faculty are always telling about focus on your data structure well, but why? They just touch that subject and don't answer the question why. We'll be talking about the question why soon. And let me move on forward and tell you what are data structures. So it is an efficient, like whatever we do, we need data. Okay. So, and this data in the computer, we cannot present it in any haphazard manner. We need an efficient way to store data, and the way we store data also influences a lot of things. So like your CPU will do computations, and it needs the data to be in a particular manner so that it does the computation well. So data structures help us to efficiently store our data, and it helps us to do good computations on our CPU in very fast times. And because since CPU doesn't understand its things on its own, we need a systematic way to store, present, and compute thing. So that is how data structures help us. It is a data organization, management, and storage format is data structures, and it also provides the user and computer an efficient interface to work with each other. Like if I am a programmer, I am a developer, I need to instruct my computer as to what to do, and that is efficiently managed using a data structure. Now, data structures are of various types, as I talked about linear data structures and non-linear data structures, and they help us to achieve different things. We'll be coming to them soon, but let me tell you, data structure is not constrained to any particular field of IT or comms. Like if you might be heavily inclined towards the field of web development, you might think why to go for data structures and why are they so important? Or if you are thinking about going into AI ML, then let me tell you, data structures is everywhere, and we need it. We need the core concepts behind it to be cleared so that we achieve supremacy in whatever we do. So as I said, it is not constrained to any particular field of IT or comms or any other branch. So like for example, if you are heavily inclined to a web development, so web development frameworks like Django or Flask or any other framework have backend language wherein you need to work with data. You need to show some data on your website. And how is that possible? By using data structure. You store your data in a particular format, you present it to the user. And if you don't have the knowledge behind what a particular data structure does or how to operate on it, then you will not be able to store the data or do things with it. So that is how web development side focuses on data structures. Like if at all you have worked in Django, you might know dictionaries play a very important role in passing data from the backend to the front end. So that is one small example of how data structure is used everywhere. Now, coming to the AI ML field, I myself am an student of artificial intelligence elective, and trust me, if you go on to make a career in AI ML, you will be heavily inclined towards data structure, because what is ML? ML, like you create a model, and to create that model you need efficiency, and efficiency is achieved by using your training data. Now, if you don't know how to process your training data, how to present it to your model, then how is it going to work well? And what is AI? AI will solve your daily problems, your lethargic work, and some domains of AI are game playing and stuff like that. But let me tell you, when I started with my AI subject, data structures played a very important role. There were algorithms which needed the basic data structure concepts that I had forgotten when I started with it. So I feel that by this session you will be able to understand why is it so important. So like as I said, the software architecture is required to hold the data. That is, we need a structure. And what we work with are data types like int, float, double, booleans, characters, etc. They are primitive data types that you use. But in this course, we'll be covering the composite or complex data structures like lists, arrays, trees, maps, vectors, graphs, etc. So moving on forward, let us talk about the prerequisites behind working with any data structure. So the prerequisite behind working with any data structure is just a programming language. And don't consider a barrier to be existing behind any programming language. Like if you are fluent with Python, then you go ahead with Python, but you achieve the core and fundamental knowledge behind how that data structure works. The once you understand how that works, you will be eager and easier to it will be eager and easier to implement for you in any given programming language. Now, if I know how a stack works in Python, then there will be no problem for me to implement the same stack in C or C++. So yeah, many of you were asking in the queries that which language to perform data structures in. So let me clear this out, guys. No particular language is constrained. You can use any language as long as you feel comfortable in it, and as long as you are able to develop the core concept and understanding behind how that data structure works. You can go about using any language. If you are looking for data structures and competitive programming in unison, then many of you might think that C++ is a good option because it gives fast computation. But trust me, guys, even if you use Python and your logic is correct, your algorithm is correct, and your usage of that particular data structure for that particular problem is correct, then there will be no problem in achieving a right answer in the given time limit. Many of you were asking how to resolve the time limit issue that happens with some data structures. Let me tell you guys, this is not the problem of the data structure, it is the problem of your algorithm. The algorithm that you devise after looking at a problem, that is what it is. So don't constrain yourself to any particular language thinking that this is the best language for data structures. You can go for C, C++, Java, Python, anything. So now since that is cleared, let me talk about abstract data types. So yeah, we have tried here to create an analogy between abstract data type and John Cena. So it is something abstraction. Now, before clearing out what is abstract data type, let me clear out what is abstraction for you. So if you have studied the concepts of DBMS, you must know what is abstraction, but let me clear it out. So abstraction is a process where we hide the trivial matters from the user and present to the user what is of importance to him or her. So like if I give you a data structure like stacks. Now stacks can be implemented using an array also, or stacks can be implemented using classes in Python, or stack can be implemented using linked list. But do you care about that? As long as you get to work with a stack, you need not care about how is the inner implementation happening. So that is what ADT is. It is an abstract data type. We have ADTs for stacks, queues, etc. And the associated operations that are with the particular stack ADT or queue ADT are the operations that we perform in it. For example, with stacks, we have associated push pop operations and is empty operation, etc. So you shouldn't care what is happening at the back end. How is the CPU achieving the answer? Like, is it happening? Is the program running through classes? Is the program running on arrays, or is the program running on linked list? It does not matter as long as you are working with the ADT. It does not matter. So basically, to put it in a layman language, ADT is an interface between you and the things that you want to achieve using that particular data structure. So it does not specify how data will be organized in the memory and what algorithms will be used for implementing the operations. It is called abstract because it gives an implementation independent view. If I tell you in the technical terms that you do not know how it is getting implemented. So it is implementation independent view. The process of providing only the essentials and hiding the details is known as abstraction. So yeah, that is what was an overview about abstract data types. And yeah, as I said, it does not specify the idea of memory allocation and algorithms. It generally gives an interface to the user to work with a particular data structure.